Okay, time to. Oh my god, look all mysterious and shit. You guys can't even see my eyes. All right, let's go check out this defensive AI video because Stallion knows his stuff. You know, because he's a good player. He knows his stuff. I like reviewing his stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I like reviewing his stuff. You know. Okay.
Of years now that I've really felt underwhelmed with the support that my
Okay,
AI
so the video is called "Why FIFA Needs the Offensive AI from FIFA 17." So
teammates give me in the attack. Even if I press R1 to call them near me or L1 to trigger runs, how they behave is just I don't like it, and it's something that I miss, and that's something that was different in previous FIFAs. I remember I'm going to show clips of FIFA 17 because that's all I have for now. Now, of course, I'm not saying FIFA 17 was perfect. There's many issues in FIFA 17, but one good thing about FIFA 17 was the way your offensive teammates acted while you had the ball. Because of that, I felt personally excited when I played FIFA 17 because I knew that I could score a wide range of goals, not only because of the shot diversity. It's not only about that because you could get to the same spot and then score three different types of shot, but that's still not diversity because it's about more than getting to the same spot. You should be able to get to many different spots and do a wide variety of shots depending on the situation, right? I don't want to get to the same spot and then be able to do all types of the shots. No, I want all types of shots to be relevant in different situations. There has to be a balance. Not that there's one spot you can score from and then you can use all shots, or you can score from all positions but only with one type of shot, right? Both of those extremes are not good. But before I get into the actual individual clips, the disclaimer on this is that I don't believe that changing the offensive AI in FIFA 19 will lead to the same results that we're about to see in these clips, because as you can see, the game FIFA 17 looks so much different, right? FIFA 18 and 19, they really evolved and they stopped having that sort of arcadey, more unrealistic feel that previous FIFAs had. Now FIFA's acting more and more like an actual football game, so the way you turn isn't as arcadey, it's more realistic, so everything's different. The passing system's different, the ball glides as opposed to rolling, everything's different. But I think just for argument's sake, looking at these clips is interesting, and so we'll get into it, and I'll show you exactly how they act, how your offensive teammates act in FIFA 17, and how I want to see more of that. Maybe not in FIFA 19 if it's not possible to change, but in the future. All right, for this first example, starting off with a bang, because out of all the clips I found, this was one of my favorite goals. And we're going to look at Modric here. He starts off here, and he starts, all right there, he starts giving us a run. Now, you'd expect him to go down just straight up, and it's kind of like a nice try, buddy, but not really what I'm looking for. But instead, no, what he does is incredible. He goes down and around, and so if you're the defender, you have to recognize this, and you have to switch out of someone to track this run, but also simultaneously, or be really quick and make a second switch to go back to the ball holder, or, you have to deal with this somehow. And offensively, it's not like a gift. I have to still find this run. I have to see it. I have to believe in it. And I do with a lofted through ball here, and I find him, right? But this intelligence from Modric is
Oh, I like that actually. So he transitions from the middle, notices that this guy overcommits from the fullback area more to the inside. So he transitions from going inside to going outside and exploiting that open space on the side. That's actually really cool. I never know. These are things I don't notice too much.
something I never see. I've stopped seeing after 17. This never happens anymore. He finds this space, like, the only space is here. But now when players make runs, they only seem to make them this way. Instead, he has the presence of mind to do a sort of an L this way. And it's absolutely incredible. This type of ball, this is what I meant when I said.
And then from this position, easy finish. Yeah, that's a good goal. I like that. It actually looks really nice. Good vision too.
Almost felt like I never knew what type of goal I scored. Here's simple run. Like, this is a simple situation. I get the space in the middle, and before I even press pass, Suarez is gone. He's in. I'm not pressing L1 or anything. He just gives me the run. And it's not, if I would have given him, like, if you trigger the run manually, they go straight. You see how Suarez is going diagonally? and obviously he goes inside the box. It's pretty nice.
Good
Here,
finish too, yeah.
with Neymar on the ball, what I want to focus on, this is what used to happen in FIFA 17. We're going to look at both Nzonzi and Suarez. Nzonzi's right here. Look at his waves. You see that? When he does that, that's what tells me that they start triggering runs. Except what happens now is that even if they do that, they'll stop. They'll absolutely stop, and so you'll still play the pass, but then once you've played the pass, they actually stop the run, and it never happens anymore. Here, instead, they just keep going. They don't stop at all. And Suarez just like, all I have to do here is run straight, and boom, Suarez is in. And what I really find interesting here is that FIFA 17 was regarded as a game of the peak of AI defending. For a game with AI defending being apparently so strong, like, which it was, obviously, but I honestly think it's stronger now.
It is.
And it may have been stronger last year at some points because, like, maybe not overall, but in terms of tracking runs, it's definitely stronger now. And that's where the skill gap was, a lot of it in 17, was if you wanted to survive defensively at a high level, you had to track these runs, right? If you're going to be a bad player, these runs never end because they follow through with them. And so if you're a bad defender, I'm going to find the ball eventually. Here with Modric, we're going to go like absolutely just full guns blazing.
Diagonal with Messi.
I have so many clips.
Stops, transitions.
You see Messi right here? He goes down and then in. He does this L run. I barely see this anymore, and he gets ahead of the defender here. And so this would solve a lot of problems which people have in terms of making the AI, not stationary but less reactive unless you select them. If you have
the defender, Baldwin, is sleeping, shit goal. If he's not controlling that player, which he should be at that point, it's not a shit goal. If he's controlling him when he falls asleep, then fair play. At that point, you don't defend on the players on the side. You have to defend the player in the middle. So there wasn't cursors on players during this time, so you can't really tell if it's a bad goal or not. But he has in this situation here.
We're gonna go like runs, except what now?
In this situation here, look. There's so much time for him to switch.
He goes inside the box. It's pretty nice. Here with Neymar.
There's so much time.
Ball. What I want to
at that point, he already has that space. There's no point in using this fullback here. He needs to be using one of the guys here to block the middle.
Focus on. This is what used to happen in FIFA 17. We're gonna look at both Nzonzi and Suarez. Nzonzi's right here. Look at his waves. You see that? When he does that, that's what tells me that they start triggering runs. Except what happens now is that even if they do that, they'll stop. They'll absolutely stop. They actually, Suarez is in. Here is run straight, and boom, Suarez is in. And these runs, L run, hey my dude, but like here, he's clearly not selecting him, and he gets through. He's clearly not selecting him, and he gets through. But this is purely down to the AI, because if I trigger this run in FIFA 19, he just goes straight. Here, I don't trigger it, and because the AI in 17 offensively for my teammates was so good, he has the presence of mind of doing this L-shaped run. Boom. He's in. Amazing. Right? Here, look at Vidal. Look at when he starts the run. Like, this is incredible. I'm just getting excited thinking about this. I pass it in to Neymar.
The back four setup makes no sense, though.
And the moment I press pass, Vidal is like, I'm in. I'm going. Right? And if you're a high level, and this is not even bad.
It depends. If his width is, well, I don't know how the setup was in FIFA 17. You can spread out the width. I think it was like just generic. I can't remember anymore.
The bad defensive AI, like, it is bad defensive AI, right? The defensive AI is acting bad. But isn't that what people want? Skill in defending? I mean, for a game that was supposedly so AI dependent, I see a lot of stationary bodies, bad positioning, and so to overcome this, if you're a good defender, you got to player switch fast and move and quick, because you could do this.
That's if player switching is good, though. Player switching has been very, very inconsistent over the years. Like, in good gameplay, they switch very, very nicely, but a very big if.
Great defenders in FIFA 17, but if you're a bad defender, my Vidal gets in
Touch
again.
and then shot,
The
right?
moment I make the pass, boom, he's going. He's giving me that option.
Touch.
If I don't have the presence of mind, it's not even a gift, right? Because I have to have the presence of mind to open my eyes. Some people might just turn inside this way and forget that he's even there. Vidal's there. So, both offensively and defensively, the player can do something to stop it or score it. Here, Suarez. Look at the run he gives me here. First of all, he gives me the run. Second of all, this chip through ball, you see how this works? It actually goes just in front of Suarez. If you try this chip through ball in FIFA 19, this goes way ahead of Suarez and it bounces to the keeper. Right here, it just goes barely above. And you see that first touch? It's right next to him. So, he doesn't take a massive chest touch and it doesn't give him the opportunity to react. So, you have the split moment to react to these runs that your player makes. And if you pass fast enough, you get the ball. But the defender also has the opportunity to switch fast enough and cover these runs and bait you into taking bad passes. So both the attacking player and the defensive player have things to do. Here, look at Neymar. Look at Neymar right here. He's going instantly. But I can't pass this, but it's not a problem. I can pass in or back and then squeeze the ball through.
Yeah.
Boom. Again, a game that was supposedly so AI dependent, but look at the holes I'm able to abuse. If you try this pass in FIFA 18 or 19, I think this guy the way the ball glides makes it so this ball never gets to him because it goes fast at first and then it slows down, right? Because the player never puts enough pace. But then in FIFA 19, balls go through my legs. So passes that make more sense don't work, but passes that make no sense work. Here, however, this works. And it's all about the run, though. That's what we're focusing mostly on here. I always end up talking about passing.
Yeah, they do exploit the space very differently for sure.
It's all about the runs here. Look at Suarez. For context's sake, I used to play a 4-3-2-1 a lot of the times.
What he's bringing up is the fact that they are triggering the runs already. He's already triggering the runs, and you're not in a position to make that pass, but you're in a position to make the pass on the inside and then make that pass.
Was my
even when he does the touch over here with this player, his player over here makes a run.
In a lot of these games, he just goes. They just act forwardly, and again, this isn't only about AI runs because you can see the defense is just placed differently in FIFA 17. They used to be much more flat and compact. So at the same time, it gave you more opportunities to get in behind, whereas now they kind of just go back. They drop back, which is why a lot of goals in FIFA 19 are all about pushing the defense back and having half a yard of space in the box instead of actually getting behind, right? But Suarez just goes in. And it's incredibly satisfying. This is a really good clip too. Look at Perisic right here. He's he's giving me the animation to give him the ball. Compact. A lot of goals in FIFA 19 are all about pushing the defense back.
I can't analyze this too well. I know he's talking about in regards to the attacking runs that the players are making beforehand, where they want you to exploit the space in the middle, and then they're already triggering that run so you can make that wide pass across. He's definitely right in that, but I don't see the cursor on the players to see who the person is controlling in those instances. So it's hard to analyze that in a defensive sense, right? Because
having half a yard of space in the box instead of actually getting behind, right? But Suarez just
because the defense, right? The defense over here, they stop tracking at some point, right? Which is fine because, it depends on how you have to defend yourself. Because he's tracking him right here, and then he stops tracking him around here. So I need to see where their cursor is at for me to judge this defensively.
Back and having half a yard of space in the box instead of actually getting behind.
Because he stops right there, see? He lets him make that run right there, defensive AI-wise. But that also created more attacking space because that was a consistent thing around the pitch. But again, I need to know where the cursor is during these moments.
Right, but Suarez just goes in. And it's incredibly satisfying. This is a really good clip too.
Because the switching has always been bad in FIFA, so I can't judge it. And he's right in the sense of attacking AI being really nice. The fact that they kind of do L shapes, they go up and they transition downwards. They go left and then transition downwards. He's right in that, but defending in general, I gotta keep saying it. If the gameplay is good, then defending is fine. Even if he was 17, if the gameplay is good, defending is fine. But when it's bad, switching is really, and it's bad most of the time. Switching is really, really inconsistent, right? Like if you press like L1 or LB, it should always switch to the guy closest to the ball, so it'll switch here. But once you do that, like let's just say I press L1 or LB and it goes to this person right here. From this person, I need to be able to use my right stick, aim top left, and it switches to this guy right away. It shouldn't be a thing where I switch it like 4 times and I'm aiming in this direction and it switches to this guy, or this guy. It has to switch to the person.
Look at Perisic right here. He's like he's giving me the animation to give him the ball, but he doesn't go this way. He doesn't go down. He goes around. Like, it's incredible what this movement would never happen right now. He would almost go this way, and like this space never gets exploited because
he's right in the way that the attackers make the runs. Like, you can see where Perisic is like, yo, I want to come into this space. Like, what's up? But I need to see the cursor of who he's defending, because there's no point in defending against this guy because he's offside. So if I'm using this guy right here and I transition this way, and that's because the defending wasn't good during this year. This is the first year I stopped playing FUT Champs because I hated this game too. I liked it when gameplay was good, blah, blah, same thing as every single year, right? But if he's using this guy right here and he's transitioning this way, control-wise, if the game was good control-wise consistently, then obviously he doesn't deserve to concede this goal because he's blocking that general person over there, right? But I can't see that. So.
Seems like nowadays
I do like the transitioning runs with the attack.
Are only linear instead of diagonal or circular like this one, where he goes this way, right? Beautiful, right there. Here it's like, it's a simple run, but like, look at Neymar, right here, he's stationary, and then boom, he just explodes.
He exploits that space, yeah.
It's like, it's getting me amped up to see this. Boom, explodes, and if you're not quick enough...
And then he can also do the thing, because this is the thing with this year's game, right? Or this particular one for FIFA 17, is that when he makes this touch with Conte, what he can do as well is make this transitioning run to the middle, and then do like a lob pass to the side, you know?
Explodes, and if you're not quick enough to switch or react, I'm in. Right here, Messi with the ball. What are we going to do? You see Nainggolan? Nainggolan makes 2 runs in this case. He's right here. I pass to the wing. And he sprints 1 time. Stops. And then he sprints again when the ball advances. Like, he does 2 sprints. Like, this sort of dynamic movement is something that I'm not used to. And I'm not sure it's purely down to
runs.
runs.
From that, too, like, this is the thing I like doing this as well, is that from this transition right here, right?
That I'm not used to. And
does a Y pass right here in this middle. If he's controlling this guy right here, right, then fair play, he should be able to, like, again, I can't see the cursor, and that concept didn't exist this year because, you know, if he makes this Y pass, the cool thing about this is that this guy starts to transition into the middle, and then you can do a skill move like an angled body feint and then make the Y pass to the guy over here on the side.
Purely down to runs.
Right, because look at that run that he starts to make.
But here we see my opponent's goal. I remember thinking, damn, I should have switched earlier. But here the key is Pogba. He starts here, but
that's a good goal too. Yeah, I like that too.
All the way down here, because he recognizes that simply running linear won't work. So he turns in,
and he makes a touch. He doesn't do a turnaround pass. He does a touch then pass, which is good. He's not controlling him, doesn't deserve it. Switches too late. If he switches to this guy earlier instead of this guy, which I don't know if he switches to. If he switches to this guy right here, then he deserves to defend against this run being made here. But he doesn't. He switches to this guy, overcommits to this guy right here. He makes that run. Open.
Because I never switched to this guy.
And it should be an easy finish. Like, again, any Golds player should be able to score that once against that space.
Of covering the correct angle. And so it punishes me.
Nice.
Here, the key is Mane, I believe. He starts
here.
Mane
transitions from outwards to the inside.
As soon as the ball gets to this guy, look how he squeezes inside in front of this guy, right? Boom, he just squeezed in. And
overcommitment with the fullback there.
This is looking back at, like, in the moment we all thought, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying AI wasn't.
You could do a first time Y pass over here in this little space when this player's making that transitioning run. Another guy right here.
Overpowered in 17, sure it was, whatever, but at the same time, look at the runs we had being made for us.
Right there, you can make that Y pass to the top.
We had so many
Yeah.
more tools against this supposed AI.
He's going to pause that one for the Coutinho one.
More tools against.
He's transitioning upwards, realizes the pass is being made here in the middle, transitions back downwards.
This supposed AI. Head to head here. If we look at Coutinho, you see he's running outside and it makes no sense, but then he cuts in. Look at that stop, sharp turn, in, diagonal run, right? And if you're a good defender here, what you do here is you either intercept, you're selecting him and you try and block this pass, or you have to quickly switch to the fullback and cut the inside.
Yeah.
But not selecting will cause issues here, and I obviously get in. Here, what I want to show you is look at the movement from this guy. He goes behind with such quickness, and this also has to do with the fact that he's selecting this guy. But the way he just enters the pocket is incredible. And again, it's not a linear run, it's diagonal. And these were a lot of FIFA 17 runs that were like this. They were really, really fun. That's why I kept saying like the mystery of what you'd score, because you never knew what run your players would give you. So it adds variety.
Makes the transition.
Here Suarez is looking this way, and then he just bursts into space the opposite direction with no runs being triggered. Now you might say, well, you should be triggering your runs. Sure, I'm down to trigger my runs if I have an option to trigger them diagonally as well. Otherwise, I need the AI to help me out a little bit. Offensively, I need my teammates to
he
help.
makes that space over there on the side.
Here, this is my CDM.
Right in the middle.
No, it's not. It's my CM. Sorry, I never played with CDMs. And look how he recognizes the spaces here, and he bursts into it. And it just gives me the opportunity to get in the box. Again, this is actually something that still happens very rarely, though. Yeah. This happens very rarely. It still does happen.
This is the thing I talk about in some of my videos is when you play with wide formations and you have like a lone striker, he will transition from the top back into the middle, right? That's like a thing. But they do it more often in this game for sure.
It happened last year too, but again, not as often.
Boom, makes a transition.
Your striker
not controlling any of these guys here, so he should be. It's a lot of space.
Outsmarts the AI defender, right? And the only way to stop this is if you're manually controlling him. So if you're a good defender, you'd select him and then cut inside, or like block him from making this cut inside. But since he's slow to select him, my Suarez is able to get the inside.
I know manual
and also
goalkeeping.
The pass in FIFA 17, this pass worked a lot better. Nowadays, if you make this pass, for some reason, it'll like go over or under. It'll be under hit or over hit. So it's really hard to pull off. When in reality, like it should
easy finish.
Really just go in. Here, Neymar gets the ball, but look at Suarez. This is like a prolonged give and go, and it's only possible because of Suarez high medium work rates. He's going in. He gives me the arm, and as soon as I get past the player there, he just bursts into the box. Where's the animation for the arm? There it is. He's going. And you got to be aware as a defender here. So I feel that's also why the byline was so OP, just because of the runs the players would make here. I have the ball with Suarez. I give it off. He runs off.
He doesn't run straight. He transitions straight to downwards. Wow.
He's running into the space, but it's blocked. But look what he does. Boom. Right there. Look at that. Look at that. He changes. He does a little bit of a zigzag, like a Z-shaped run.
Yeah.
Zoom. There you go. Beautiful.
Zoom.
Right? And they have the presence of mind to do this. Here, Suarez is running down, and he changes. As I go up and down horizontally with the ball, my strikers go up and down with runs. He's running this way. There's no space. The space is right here. Boom. Explodes this way, and I'm in. And he's too slow to select his Smalling. I don't see these things happening anymore. Nowhere near as much as they used to. And it's definitely more than just the AI. It'd be too simple.
Guy's already making that run, man. Yeah, you can already see that happening way before. This is during the days when people used to use the 4-1-2-1-2, and their center mids were on balanced work rates. or balanced instructions because they made these transitioning runs themselves, because you could see him making a run
I don't see
already.
these things happening anymore. Nowhere near any as much as they used to.
Easy finish too.
And it's
Right
definitely
here, you could already see him being and making that transitioning
more
run.
than just the AI.
Right? The attacking AI, this is like professional. This is like professional team stuff. This guy transitions downwards, so this guy can follow him downwards, and then he just makes that easy pass to the top.
It'd be too simple here.
See?
I mean, the run starts so early.
Yeah.
Look, as soon as I make this, here I have two options. I can pass to him, or him again, or back into Willian. I choose Willian, and while I do that, Suarez is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's running into the stands if he can, but I stop him from running into the stands because I pass it to him. That's such a good
Touch
ball.
and shot.
I mean, such a good run as well. And of course, like, it's also abusing the poor positioning, but I feel like these sort of situations are so rare now, and that's why you sort of don't see these goals anymore. One of the reasons why you don't see these goals anymore in 18 and in 18 and 19, and both last year's FIFA and this year's FIFA, it's all about getting the ball to someone here and getting a half a yard of space and shooting. It's never about getting in behind because, one, you can't. I mean, you can, but it's complicated. Two, it's just not efficient. So, yeah, I hope this helps illustrate what I mean by wanting to see more or smarter runs from the AI, where it's not so overpowered that the defender can't do anything about it. It's more about the offensive player has to pick out the runs, but at the same time, the defensive player will stop them if he has the presence of mind and the speed of player switching to stop them. But at the same time, the offensive player
Also, if they're allowed to player switch, because player switch is still not there yet.
needs options to bypass any type of defense.
I like that video. That's a solid video. I definitely see what he's talking about with defensive AI. I can't see the cursor of the players though, so it's hard to tell like how they were defending, because as you guys know, this was the first year I stopped playing Foot Champs because I hated this game as well because of the inconsistent gameplay. So I can't really say in regard, because defending is awful in bad gameplay. Like it's dog shit, right? So I can't really judge it that far. But it would definitely be interesting to see how the person was defending during these instances, because FIFA's not at that stage yet where it's like, oh, he's to blame for this. Like, if I can control the players properly and switch properly all the time, then so be it. But I don't know what gameplay they're playing in during this time. I don't know where the cursor is on the players during this time, so on and so forth. So, but I do like the video. I get what he's talking about with the L-shaped runs where they're transitioning into the middle, cut to the outside when it makes sense, or cut from the outside back into the inside because that makes sense as well. So I think that was a pretty solid video to make as well, but I can't really judge it that much because I remember what this game was like during that time as well, and I don't know how the opponent was defending during that specific time. So that's what I will leave it off as.